Hello, everyone. You're watching Aaron is Perfect, Episode 6. Yo, hey. Welcome back to another fabulous episode of the world's best podcast ever. My name is Aaron, and if for some reason this is the first episode that you're watching, go back and watch episode 1, then 2, and then after 2 comes 3, then 4 and 5, because then you can see the natural progression of how I got where I am right now. And that, I think, is important to do because the first couple episodes, you can kind of see me like cutting my teeth on the shit. Sorry, that was loud. I banged the microphone stand. And I think it really gives you a better sort of look at where I've come from in only a small amount of episodes to where I am now. Because I think it's better. I think I did a fairly decent job getting comfortable with this, and I'm still going to continue to get better with it, and I can't wait to see where it goes. The support has been fucking unbelievable. People are really listening to this. They're really paying attention, and yes, I still haven't had anyone send me an email with any sort of content suggestions, which is obviously fine, but I do find it really funny. Because now it's like almost I have like I have people who are sort of adamantly against sending me shit on there because I've been so fucking pushy. So yeah, that's fine. I kind of like that. I think that's hilarious. If you can't tell, I am getting over a cold. And I had a cold over my birthday, and I figured it was like gonna sort of subside, and then over the weekend it just got progressively worse. I went to a comedy night on the weekend, and it was so much fun, and I just like I thought it was the end of my cold, and then the next day I was like, oh, I'm like really like my voice started to change then, and I'm like, oh, it must have been because I'm like, it was loud in the place, so I was yelling a little bit, maybe not yelling, but talking much more aggressively than I normally do. So I'm like, fuck, I wonder if I did something strange in my voice. And then the next day, my fucking throat was on fire. Like it was so bad that I had to take like the suggested every 4-hour Advil Tylenol combination. And that was a total disaster. Not the Advil Tylenol, that's just normal, but it was brutal. Like it was really, really painful. And then 3 days of extreme pain in the back of my throat, and like slowly having this thing move to my chest, which you can hear it. That's where it is now. It was horrible. I had to go to a walk-in. I still have a pretty bad cough, but I had to go to a walk-in. And I got antibiotics, and they gave me this weird, like, it's like almost, I don't know, it like tastes like mouthwash, but it makes like your mouth numb. Like, oh, we'll give you some of this for the pain. I'm like, the pain is so far in the back of my throat. Like, don't swallow it. It's not for swallowing. You have to gargle it and then spit it out. I'm like, how far back do you gargle before you swallow? You know? I probably should ask someone from the porn industry. I can't go so far back that it gets to the place that hurts to be able to spit it out. So I tried it, and it basically just made my entire inside of my mouth numb, and it was like I had this pain back here and this super annoying feeling in the front of my mouth. And the pharmacist, when he's giving it to me, he's like, "Have you used this stuff before?" I'm like, "Absolutely not." And he's like, okay, well, just make sure you don't like heat up your food too much or make your food too cold, because you can hurt yourself. You can like scar your mouth or like burn yourself, because you don't know how cold or hot things are. It's like this does not seem like it is a helpful medication. Luckily, I have a drug plan, so I didn't pay anything for this. So I tried it, and it's not a small amount of liquid. Like they give you the jug is like, it's like I don't know, 600 milliliters or something. It's insane. Anybody who's in the States might have a problem understanding what that is. I don't know how to convert it for you. So it's basically like 2 cans of Coca-Cola, specifically Coca-Cola. It can't be any other type of drink. That's basically the fluid amount. And yeah, it just made my mouth numb, like, and only for like a good like 15 minutes. So even if it did do what they said it was going to do, I would be like using this stuff constantly because the pain was so bad. But that's my chair, by the way, not a fart. But yeah, the pain was so bad, and I could get rid of it with Tylenol and Advil. Well, not get rid of it, but it definitely was greatly subsided by Tylenol and Advil. So that's cool. Whoever's making Tylenol and Advil, I'm assuming those are brand names, so it's probably those two companies. Thanks, I guess. Even though you're probably making so much more money than necessary. Thank you so much to Tylenol and Advil over these last couple of days, to a week. Thank you so much for making something that actually did what I needed it to do for that small amount of time. And also go fuck yourself because you're part of Big Pharma and obviously you're evil. So check out my new shirt. This one, David Bowie, obviously a great musician. This one came to me by accident. This one came to me in a dream. Not really, but this is a funny one. Basically, my wife likes to order things on, not just online, at Old Navy, because it's easy to deal with. We have an Old Navy that's close to us, and you can just return it directly to the store. So if you see something that is on their website, I'm not an advertisement for Old Navy, by the way. Fuck Old Navy, they don't give me anything. So this just happens to be a story about Old Navy. So yeah, she orders stuff online from them that you can't get in the store. She doesn't see in the store, and you can just take it back to the store if you don't like it. So this shirt was considered gender neutral, and she ordered it because she's a huge David Bowie fan, which everyone in the world obviously should be. And she's like, it's just a men's shirt. That's all it is. It's not a gender neutral shirt. It's just a men's shirt. Why call it gender neutral? What is the purpose of this if it's just going to be literally just a men's shirt? Like, are we just calling men's clothing gender neutral now? I don't understand. Somebody needs to explain this to me. Like, gender neutral would be a mix of the two things, right? Like maybe it's tight and thin, like women's clothing, or maybe it's like that stretchy kind of like really thin, stretchy material, except for it's like like built for sort of a men's shape. I don't know. I mean, like, does it have like maybe it's wider in the hips area, but still has like the broad shoulders. But I don't know. It's such a weird thing to make a t-shirt. That was a very loud truck that just went by. A gender neutral t-shirt. It's just a t-shirt. Just like, I don't know, make a V-neck. It's so weird to call it that. It's just so weird to call it that when it's just like it's a t-shirt and fits me fucking great. Like, look at this. If I know some of you are probably just like it's the right length, you know. Sorry to anybody who's just listening and not watching, but it looks really good on me, and I think I have a new favorite shirt. I have as far as shirts are concerned, I have about 5 that I really like, probably like 3 that I don't mind, and then a good 25 to 30 that I dislike, that I still will wear on like laundry day or days that I don't think I'm going to see anybody. So yeah, more shirt journey stuff. Once again, I hate clothing. I hate clothing because I like to be fashionable. I like to look fashionable. I'm a fashionable male. And I really dislike the shape of my body. And I've disliked the shape of my body for a long time. I have like a hunch. You know, I'm especially the last couple of years with COVID. Everyone's like, "Oh yeah, that COVID-19," talking about like 19 pounds added. I think I gained 19 pounds for each year that COVID was here, And so yeah, things have definitely changed shape wise for me, and it makes it much harder for me to buy clothing that I really like because I either like the look of it and it doesn't sit on me properly and doesn't fit properly, or it's a perfect fit but it's got a weird color or like a weird pattern, or like just makes me look my age, and I don't want to look my age because I'm cooler than that shit. A lot of people who are my age dress just like, just put on shirt and pants in the morning. You know, yeah, it doesn't really matter what I wear. I comb my hair back and wear a hat. That's not me. I've always wanted to dress cool. I've always put a Shaq O'Neal in the back of my head, back of my hat. That's just who I am. I think my taste has grown up a little bit, and maybe I still wear fucking skinny jeans, which I know isn't cool, but I'm not gonna go. Okay, here's the thing, right? Like fashion and like most other things, there's a resurgence that happens, right? And right now there's like a '90s resurgence of like mom jeans and fucking like that sort of early '90s grunge. Like I'm wearing ripped jeans right now, but they're still skinny jeans. And like there was a certain point when there was a resurgence and it catches up to your early kind of introduction to fashion years, like your early teens, where you start really worrying about how you look and what you're wearing. And I don't think I can do it again, Like, I'm not going to spike up my hair and wear a fucking visor. I'm not going to fucking go out and buy some fucking mod robes or exhaust jeans. I'm not going to go do that because I already did that. And for so many years, I looked back at my fashion and was like, loser, like anybody did, right? We look back at like 80s fashion and 80s hair. We're like, oh my God, that is just insane. But then it came back. People thought it was cool and started doing like mullets and shit again. And it's like, okay, there's a reason why the people who invented this think that it is cringy as fuck now. We already did it. There was an evolution that occurred. I hate some words I just dislike saying because I say it weirder than other people. Occurred. I'm thinking about like curds, like milk curds or something. Occurred. That's what I always say, and it's horrible, and I shouldn't say it because it sounds so fucking stupid. It sounds like a different word. It sounds like a word that doesn't exist. But anyway, I don't even remember what I was talking about. All I can tell you is that it died for a reason. Kill it dead. Kill it dead. It doesn't need a fucking afterlife. It doesn't need its soul does not need to live on. We don't need to fucking, I don't need to see parachute pants from the 80s. I don't need to see fucking, remember those hats that people wore in the 90s? They were like Dr. Seuss hats. Remember that? Remember that was so cool? Jamiroquai made it cool. Like, that guy doesn't fucking do that anymore. Why should you? He was the guy who like made it good. He was the one who brought it to the forefront of our society and was like, this is what you're wearing on your head for the next 7 years. And then stopped it. And then we all stopped. Remember soothers? Remember being an adult? Remember being a fucking teenager and having like a bunch of soothers dangling from a necklace? Remember that? What the fuck was that all about? Trolls? Remember the little troll doll things? They had a resurgence too, but in like movie form, and it changed. It was for kids and shit, but like it's not the same. Like you didn't have full blown adults, collecting trolls with like jewels in their stomach, like limited edition fucking, trolls with rainbow hair and shit. That's not happening. It's not a collector's item anymore. It's just a toy from a movie, like the good old fashioned days when like they fucking made a toy and then they had to make a movie to make the toy make money. It's so weird, these things, these fucking fads that we go through as people, and how we find things cool, as a group, we find things cool. We latch onto one specific like item and think it's cool, and then they give you like tons of accessories to accessorize for that particular item, and you have to buy that, and it's this crazy merchandising scheme that works so fucking well, and it still works so well. Like, it still works so well. Like, right now with my with my kids, I'm already seeing them. They're still pretty young, but if the Toys R Us catalog or something comes in, I'm already seeing like, oh, I need a fucking LOL doll, or I need a fucking, I need the next, whatever the next thing is. And it's so weird that we do this as a culture. Don't you think? Isn't that so strange that we latch on to one specific item, and then somebody else buys it and they latch onto it, and it's like suddenly it's a fad? Why? It doesn't matter. Like what you like. Be your own person. That being said, I've had collections. I have like one of the biggest fucking hockey card collections. I think like it probably contends with a lot of people in this country. It's too many. I have too many hockey cards. And mostly from the 90s, because that was my rage days. Those were my rage days, the 90s. That's when I was really cool, as a kid. That's when shit didn't fucking matter to me. That's when like being cool didn't matter. Fuck, it was so much easier back then. Sort of. I say that, but my life was fucked up. So I can't say it was easier in that way. It was definitely easier because I didn't also have I wasn't worrying about girls. I wasn't worrying about fucking the real fashion. I was dressing certain ways for me, but it wasn't to like show people how I look like I do now. Because let's be honest, that's what I do. Like if I didn't care how I looked, I'd be wearing a hat right now. I need a haircut, but I have the ability to style it in the way that I like, so it works. But I'll wear a hat, and like I have an extensive hat collection because I want to make sure that I'm wearing the right hat for the right time and the right look, right? So like aesthetics for me are very important. I'm sure that's hilarious to a lot of people because I don't have like the best fashion, but I like to look good, and it's vain as fuck. But had I, back in the early 90s because I was born in 85, so even in 1990 I was only 5. So in the year 2000, how old was I? Oh my god, I can't do this fucking math. 15? Yeah, the year 2000 I was 15. So the early 90s I was still in my, preteens, and I didn't really care about girls. I mean, maybe a little, but not as much as, I did in my later teens and early 20s. That kind of shit didn't matter really. So it was just easy. It was easier. It was an easier time in that way. But yeah, that's enough about fashion because fuck it. It doesn't matter that much. I'm not going to the Met Gala anytime soon, so it doesn't really matter. It's funny because I had a cold and I had this pain in the back of my throat. Now I have these fucking they're still there, but it was the reason why it hurt so much. When you get strep throat and you get those fucking sores in the back of your throat? I had those. They were all fucking around my, I hate saying this word, uvula. They were around all these things around my uvula. The uvula? Do you? Vula? If you don't know what a uvula is, it's the dangly do at the back of your throat. But they were it was like a halo of these fucking little sores. And it was awful. It was really fucking painful. So I had those going on. But I also had 2 or 3 fucking canker sores. Because some of us in this world have really straight, beautiful, gorgeous teeth. Some of us in this world have fucking haggard, mostly in Great Britain. No offense, Great Britain. Haggard, crazy teeth that go all over the place. I am right in the middle. I also have this issue where I chew very quickly. I don't know why I want to get meals over with so quickly, but I chew very quickly and I eat fast. And the combination of having not the straightest teeth and chewing really fast generally results in me biting my lips and my tongue fucking all the time. Like at least once in one meal a day, I bite something on my own face, inside my own face, and usually I'll draw blood. And sometimes I bite it fucking so bad that I bite a chunk of fucking flesh off my body on the inside of my mouth. And it fucking hurts then. But then I have like 6 or 7 healing days where I have these fucking gaping canker sores that fucking hurt so bad. So I had like 2 or 3 of these in like the sides of my mouth while I have this like pain in the back of my throat. It was fucking awful. And I've had this conversation with my dentist many times, and because the dentist, here's the thing about dentists. This is going to be very Jerry Seinfeld-esque comedy, but here's the thing about dentists. Okay, I'm not even going to attempt his voice because that was stupid, but every dentist that I've ever gone to is a little bit different, but they're all the same in this way. They all want you to buy shit. Now, I think dentists, generally speaking, are pretty fucking rich, right? And I don't know if they share that wealth with their hygienists. I highly doubt it, because then, a dental hygienist would be a sort of a sought-after role. But I've always had dentists try and like offer me, things. And they try and work within my benefits, which is really cool. I really like that. But I mean, that's their job and they don't have a choice. It would be really fucking annoying if I had to remind them that I had benefits, They just have that shit on file, so it's part of their thing. But every dentist that I've ever gone to told me that I need to get my wisdom teeth pulled. I don't ever have problems with my wisdom teeth. It never hurts. I don't get like weird pressure pain. My teeth are generally quite comfortable. But then more recently, when I started talking to my dentist about biting my lips, it just reinvigorated this like conversation about like what needs to be done to my teeth. And I am being told now that not only do I need to get all 4 of my fucking wisdom teeth removed, I also need top and bottom braces. Now, if you've ever seen me smile, which you have probably because I'm a smiley kind of guyly, and I smile a lot. Now, there's a possibility you haven't seen me smile recently, but nothing's changed. I have fairly straight teeth, straight enough that if biting my lip and shit is something that happens frequently, that I can maybe just like try and slow down eating and adjust it that way, then I will. Rather than having what I'm going to consider about a year's worth of fucking painful, weird, awkward shit in my mouth, just to make it so I don't bite my lips again, I think that may not be worth it. The whole process apparently is going to cost somewhere around the $6,000 mark. That's a lot of fucking money. Granted, I'll be paying probably like maybe $1,000 worth of that outside of my benefits. So yes, privileged. Thank you. I mean, I still pay a certain amount every year, and it's part of my insurance policy, but because I'm an adult or whatever. And it's a killer discount, obviously. Still a lot of money, but I don't feel like it's really a requirement. And, you do hope that your dentist is telling you things based off of what they want you to fucking do for you, like it's for your own health. But there's a very good possibility that it has a lot to do with their own pocket. So, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. Basically, what I'm saying is, if for some reason in the next, 6 months, I look different and or maybe I miss a podcast because I'm trying to fucking recover from having all 4 fucking wisdom teeth pulled out of my face, you'll know why. Oh, sorry. Just let me take a sip of water here, if you don't mind. And I still have a cold. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to take a sip of water. Should it be audible? Should I make it really audible, really graphically audible sip of water? Here we go. Get ready. Yeah. Let's go for another, shall we? Here we go. Okay, so that was borderline sex noise at the end there, so I'm just going to never do that again. I'm just going to go ahead and never fucking do that again, if that's cool. Yeah. Dude, my voice sounds so cool. I sound so much cooler. I was singing along to the fucking music yesterday, and I can't hit any high notes, but like the strong notes sound like raspy and fucking, it's wild. But I'm not going to sing for you because it's weird. So the sort of the best feedback that I got from episode 5 was talking about my childhood and talking about the fact that I was a weird fucking kid. So I liked I like talking about my childhood to an extent. I like talking about the quirky parts. I obviously don't really necessarily like talking about the tough spots, but I mean, at some point I'm going to get really into that. I think I'll save that for maybe another episode where I go into darkness, because the last episode went into a bit of darkness, and it's fine. I don't mind doing that, but it's supposed to be a comedy podcast, so the last thing I want to do is just bring everybody fucking down all the time. So I don't want to do that. Although I do appreciate the support. I'm just gonna talk about the funny shit from now on. For now, and the odd time I'll bust out some sadness and just so you can get a kind of a perspective of where I'm from and where like maybe the OCD came from, because that, you know, is a pretty important part of this podcast. Just even getting the information out there, just like I think I'm now on like the third versions of certain episodes, you know, like I've recorded multiple episodes multiple times. So, you know, it just, I really struggle trying to get the information out there. And I think it's really important that you understand why it's so hard for me to get that shit out there. And if I go into some details about my life and where this stuff sort of came upon or sort of came out, then it might give you a little bit of kind of inside perspective that you weren't asking for. So that's kind of cool. But anyway, yeah, as a kid, I used to do a lot of weird shit. And I'll try and like dig up as many memories as I can about weird shit that I did. But one of the weird things that I used to do, and this may put me in some sort of fucking category because it's fucking weird and not good. It was kind of bad. I feel like I was a pretty good kid for the most part. But this one thing would put me like, you know, like if there was a heaven or a hell or something, I think I'd be like in that fucking sin booth with a priest, even though I'm a Jew, and be like, hey, I did some shit. But basically, I used to carry like a little pin or like a thumbtack with me everywhere. Actually, it was a safety pin, now that I remember, because you couldn't just walk around with a pin. I had to put it in my pocket. But I had a safety pin. And anytime we went out to a grocery store, I used to poke shit with it at the grocery store. Like secretly, I wouldn't show anybody that I was doing it, but I used to like, you know, walk up to the bananas and be like, and like shank the fucking bananas with this little pin. Or like I would like, I don't even know why nobody noticed, but I would inscribe like an A or something or a number or a letter into bananas or fruits or vegetables with this pen and just like poke shit. I remember I used to like, because we're in Canada, we have bag milk. So I used to just like walk up to the bagged milk, just like, give it one little poke. Fuck. That's a horrible thing to do, man. That's a horrible fucking thing to do. Like that like as a kid, you don't fucking really care. You don't really know about the environment. You don't really know about like the the equal food epidemic issue that we fucking deal with, as a culture, the imbalance. You don't think about that shit at all. Nobody talks to you about that. So because you're a kid and it's maybe a little bit too big of a conversation to have with a little kid. This is like early. This is like 6 or 7 age group. And yeah, we just walk around this fucking pin and poke shit. But I used to do it at home too. Not to our food, but there was these like, it was, yeah, if my mother were here to know about this, because she used to give me shit for it, but I would poke our aloe plant. Like we had this aloe plant, we always kept it around. Anytime we got a cut or something, we put aloe on it. It worked really well. So if you are ever hurt or cut or have like a rash or something, get a fucking aloe plant, pop off one of the fucking little sticks of aloe and put it on yourself. I'm telling you. And there's a reason why they use it and everything, but that's like if you're like a non like polysporin community, then fucking aloe is honestly the best shit in the world. It really helps with like subsiding pain to like surface area pain stuff. So yeah, rashes for sure, but little cuts and scrapes, it fucking works wonders. But yeah, I used to just like poke this aloe plant that we had, and I used to like take the pin and like poke it in and then like pull it up or down so it would like slice it. Fuck. Like there's gotta be, and like I used to do it to cactuses, succulents, things like that. Like any plant that had like a thickness to it. Not just regular leaves, because that was boring, but it needed to like bleed or something. I am just realizing now that maybe there's something wrong. Like I'm the world's first like, fucking plant serial killer. I could just go out and like, I'm surprised I'm not like a fucking like a tree trimmer guy now, just like walking around like, oh, gonna get ya, shink, just fucking with some shears, trimming the trees. Gonna fucking cut your legs off, shink. Just kidding, that's your penis. I hope that hurt you. Give me some of that sappy blood. Oh yeah, sap blood. Yeah. So, like, I don't know why that happened. I don't like I never did it to like animals or anything weird, but and I don't like seeing blood. Blood like makes me really uncomfortable. Like if you see like those old surgery movies or surgery shows where they slice the skin open and you're like, fuck, dude. Ugh. Or like watching people take needles. No. So like, I think I made out okay, just plants, but still that could have been so much worse, I think. And it's like poking like food. I don't know. There's something there that attributed to some of my my later aggressions as a young adult, but it seems to have no effect on me now because I just had to dig that out of the fucking memory vault. I completely forgot that I did it. I don't know why I remembered. I've been trying recently to like dig up old memories, to like think of like weird shit that I did as a kid, because I think that stuff there is some comedic stuff there, and it's fun because it also sort of helped to, pave the way for the fucking weirdo that I am today. So yeah, it's some fucking crazy shit to do. Like, pay attention to your kids when you guys are out and about. Pay attention to what they're doing, because I have a feeling that that's not an uncommon thing to do, especially for boys. I think little boys do fucking weird shit like that all the time. I was a bit of an exception. I was a much weirder kid than a lot of other kids, but yeah, that's still fucking, that's a weird ass thing. Fucking, that's a weird thing to do. But I'm not just a weird kid. I'm a weird adult too. Like I'm a weird guy, right? Like maybe not like super weird, and I try and like build the funniness into the weirdness to try and like, help me navigate through it, or at least help to add some comedic relief to the fucking weirdness that I am. I have this like cryptic humor side. Like I don't know what it is, but like if there's any sort of weird situation that happens around me that's like not funny, or maybe it's like really dramatic, I have a hard time not laughing about it or finding something that's funny. And I watched Ricky Gervais. He has like a new stand up that's on Netflix, and he was making this fucking awful off-color joke about like, I don't know, fucking a baby funeral or something like that. And he said nothing is funnier than a fart at a baby funeral. And that shit resonated with me huge, because like, obviously it's a satirical comment. It's a horrible thing to talk about. But it's also like, that's totally me, man. That's totally me. Like I don't know if I would laugh in that situation. I generally have better, ability to hold in my laughter. Also, farts kind of lame. Like, farts are sort of funny. Oh my God, that was an awful cough. Like, farts are funny. Like, that's like that, because they sound funny, but they're not that funny. It would have to be something completely different. The thing that I would laugh at a funeral like that I wouldn't be able to hold in would be very different than that. It would be like, like like something significantly more random. Like, everybody's sitting there crying, and it's like, like there's sadness in the room, and, it's very obviously a sad moment. And then, I don't know, a fucking homeless guy comes in and fucking starts yelling about something completely unrelated, like, oh, is this Walmart? What the fuck is wrong with everybody? Who are you, Santa? Like, that type of shit would fucking blow me up. I wouldn't be able to even like handle my life. I would shit right there and then. But the thing about this type of humor for me is that it goes generally a few steps further than that, to the point where it's like, I wonder how I would be if I could get away with walking into a funeral home and like walking up to the front sad, like without like, walking into a funeral home at a funeral, everybody's there doing their thing and being all sad and shit, and then I walk up and I stand behind the microphone and I say something like, I don't know, breakfast. And then I just do one fucking cartwheel and then I just walk out. That's the type of shit that I would find really fucking funny. And would you laugh if you saw that? Like, if some dude just walks in, even if it's like someone who, like, maybe if it wasn't like a close relative, or like definitely not maybe not a baby funeral, because that's awful shit. I don't even want to talk about that anymore. But at other funerals, would you laugh if you saw some dude walk in who has like all nice, dressed in a suit and tie, looks like they're part of the program here, and just walks up and says like, broccoli, and then does a fucking cartwheel at the front of the thing at the podium, and then just leaves? And we could take it even a step further. It would be even funnier to me if there was public outcry. If suddenly everybody was like, who the fuck is this guy? What the fuck, everybody? And like people just fucking, get the fuck out of here. Don't you know what to, like, it'd be so like, God, why is that funny to me? I'm a horrible guy. I'm horrible as fuck. Sorry, my head is itchy. I had to take my headphones off and fix my hair. Because I can see myself. Like the viewfinder for this thing is a little far away. So anyway, that kind of shit is really fucking funny to me. That was a gross burp. And you're welcome. That's the type of content you're going to find here. We're going to take someone else's joke about a baby funeral. We're going to make it our own. And then we're going to obnoxiously burp into a microphone. And it's gonna be good. It's gonna be fine. That's my next theme music. Okay? next for season 2, if I get picked up again. If I get picked up again, you know? If season 2 of this podcast gets picked up by Nike or whatever, that'll be my my new theme music. Everything's gonna be fine. Oh, get the fuck out of here, you fucking asshole! Sorry, that was my alarm, and that means that I have to hurry up because we've been going for way too long already. I do want to go on this last little tangent, and it's going to be not funny, but last little tangent is about music again. I feel like music is coming back to me. In an earlier episode, I was talking about how I've like lost my excitement for music. I haven't been as enthusiastic about music as I was in the past, and I think it's coming back. And there's a couple different things that I think have sparked that. I think I know this is awful to say, but I think Kanye West's albums have really helped to spark my love of music again. Fucking obviously crazy guy. That person is fucking completely bonkers. That's how I feel about it right now. He's lost his fucking mind. He obviously has some serious mental health issues. His music is goddamn fire, and we all know that. And if you don't know that, then you need to re-listen to the music so that you understand. And if you're not a fan of hip hop, then that's fine. You're wrong, but that's fine too. And I really like fucking Donda was an absolute work of art. His other shit's always been very good. But that fucking record is unreal. Donda 2 was great too. Kendrick Lamar, his new album, if you like his music and you are a fan of hip hop, this is like definitely the fucking album of the summer for sure. So yeah, if you haven't listened to that, go fucking listen to it. I'm only thinking of like hip hop shit right now. There's tons of other stuff that I'm a huge fan of. Haim's shit has been unbelievable the last little while. I think they just did a big tour, or they're in the midst of a big tour. They just played Canada. I don't know where, somewhere in Toronto, I think yesterday. And so it's music. Music has been it has been somewhat reignited in my world, and I say that because I am suddenly having this new connection to music, and even like old music. Like I was listening to yesterday at work while I'm working away. I'm listening to remember Imogen Heap. Remember that song, fucking Hide and Seek? It was like she had like a vocoder and it was just voice, and it's like this really epic sounding fucking song, and the lyrics are super like organic and like sad as fuck, and I fucking cried. I cried working at my desk, working away, making an email blast for a music store. I fucking started crying, and it was like I wasn't crying. I just like I couldn't get the tears out of my eyes, you know? I'm also sick, so I'm extra emotional. But it was another sort of inspiring moment that music still has the ability to move me a little bit, and it's been cool. I'm gonna keep listening to music. I'm gonna push myself to listen to more of it, and I'm gonna push myself to listen to more newer music because I think that's also very important. So once again, if you could send me an email for music recommendations, that would be fucking awesome too. Because then I can maybe give a review on here of how I feel about it. Or I could just listen to great fucking music. So yeah, please send me music too. That'd be fucking awesome. If you ever decide that you want to activate my email account by being the first person to ever email me anything about content, that would be fucking awesome. Last thing I'm going to say, I'm going to try and make it brief. Today is the 25th of May. It is I think the 6th anniversary of my mother's passing. So I wasn't going to do this. When she passed away, I wrote a poem. So I may or may not leave this in here. I'm not sure. Hopefully I can find it. Actually, I can probably search for it. I wrote a poem. Oops, that's not right. That's so weird. I wrote a poem about, I don't even know what it's about really. It's just, I was sad and I needed to get the information out of there. Or at least I needed to say something. And I think this was an important part of the process. Sorry, I'm searching for it here and oh, there it is. It's kind of a long poem, but I'm going to read it to you just because today is that day. And I think for me, it's kind of important to put this out there. It's probably super cheesy, probably not overly well written. I'm not a poet by any means, but here it goes. Trembling little feet on hardwood. The sound of slamming doors. Resentment fills the semi-detached patch house. The love is gone and we are alone. What could have been will be forever known. Will be never known, sorry. I'm not ready for that yet. The ghost of our first feline friend whisked away on a cold basement floor. This baby kitty isn't a baby anymore. I'm not ready for that yet. A decision is made for me to go back and forth. A biweekly transfer, a tweak in my stability I've had never before. I'm not ready for that yet. Two options presented, both as dimly lit as my heart inside its cage. My choice will begin my emotional cascade. It isn't my war, but I shoot my gun anyway. I'm not ready for that yet. The seasons vanish and the days roll in and out. Your presence is vacant. My candle's almost gone out. Then you appear and have sun in your heart. The life we missed has torn me apart. I'm not ready for that yet. You open your heart to my foul brigade of hate and misled emotion. You've changed. You've grown. From where we left off, a sprout of hope grows. Regret leaves my body through the wells of my eyes. I am ready for this. I read up and analyze this cruel disease. The fresh start I needed became a swift, powerless struggle, taking the rug from beneath my feet. You're but a screen at the tips of my fingers and the furthest from me physically. I now have to endure however long we have rather than enjoy it. I'm not ready for that fucking bullshit yet, goddammit. I'm not ready for that yet. So if you know me and you know my history with my mother, that was sort of the gist of how things went down in a really poetic way. So it's not very specific, but yeah, hard to read that shit, actually. A lot has changed over the years, and a lot for the positive. And I'm just going to keep trying to think of the positive shit, because that's what she would have wanted me to do. And I'm going to try not to talk so much about this particular situation, because it's, I'll be honest, it's kind of hard to talk about still, even 6 years later. It's odd how hard it is. It's odd because you know people who have had parents pass away, like everyone does. But it's strange when it happens to you how much you feel like it's not the same. It's not comparable to anyone else's grief, because your situation is sort of customized to you and has your, it has your history, and nobody else knows your history. So it's impossible to compare. But all I can say, if you've lost a parent, is I'm sorry and I'm with you. And if you haven't, and you're close with your parents, just, I don't want to fucking sound cliche, like, oh, just give them one extra hug or something, like, don't take things for granted. But it's real. It's really fucking hard. It was oddly traumatic as an adult to lose a parent, especially like I didn't see her that much. You know, we didn't even live in the same country. So it was I was blown away by my own reaction to it. Because as much as like, you know, we would talk fairly frequently, I still, you know, she wasn't the closest person to me. I mean, it sounds stupid, but because we were obviously very close, but like I didn't see her every day. I saw her like once every couple of years, kind of thing, or once a year, sometimes twice a year, especially leading up to the thing when, you know, she had cancer. 'Cause she had cancer, and she had cancer for a year, and she deteriorated over a year. So I went down there. She lived in Florida. I went down there, fucking, I don't know, 3 or 4 times that year, just to like help with the household and, you know, just sort of live close to her. And fuck, that in itself was traumatic. But the reaction that I had was totally different than what I anticipated. And I'm sure it was based off the fact that we had so many missed opportunities, and there were so many years there where I could have done more and I didn't. And her life was fucking tragic. Her whole life, other than when she moved to Florida and started her life over again, the beginning parts of her life were extremely traumatic and horrible. And then, you know, she cuts out this new path for herself, this beautiful new life, and then that happens. I don't know. Fuck. Sorry, I gotta stop talking about it because I can't let that take over this fucking podcast because it doesn't. I don't talk about it all the time. I don't talk about it almost ever because it's not always top of mind. Because if it was, I'd be a fucking depressed person all the time, and that's not what I'm about. I'm about happiness and fun and laughter, and at least that's what I try to be, so long as I can manage it. But I don't know. I don't want to end this on a bad note. Or not a bad note, on a sad note. I don't want to end this on sadness, but I don't know that I have a choice because I don't have anything else written down. So, this is awkward, but either way, thank you once again very much for listening. If you do feel inclined to send me an email, you can send it at aaronsperfect@gmail.com. You can follow me on TikTok. Aaron is perfect. You can, whoa, oh my God, so many things are happening right now. Yay. One more audible quick swig of water before I get through my my follow me here stuff. You know what I really like about water? It's the flavor of it. It just tastes so delicious, you know? And I know I said I wasn't going to do the audible water drinking thing again, and then I just did it. So I'll probably continue to do it. Anyway, so follow me on Instagram at Aaron_is_perfect_podcast. You can find me on Apple Podcasts, and you can find me on Spotify, and I'm probably missing some of the other things, but subscribe, please. I don't post that often. I will probably post more often, but I don't post that often at the moment. But when I do, if you could like my posts, that'd be fucking great. If you could subscribe to all the shit, and if you could follow me on everything, that just not only shows a ton of support, but also makes it so the algorithm goes, hey, everybody else, check this shit out. And if you think I deserve that, if you think this is an entertaining enough podcast and you think I deserve that, then fuck yeah, dude. Hit me up. Make it happen. Let's grow this shit and see if we can inspire some other people, you know, because that would be fucking dope. For me. And probably only me. But the name of the podcast is Aaron is Perfect. So it's not like this shit is about anybody else, is it? No. It's just about me. It's just about this all guy. Hear my fucking voice? Man, I wish my voice sounded like this all the time. Yeah. Like, but I can only go up. Like, listen to how high I can go up. It sounded like somebody was trying to like tune a trumpet or something, or like there's something stuck in the trumpet. Dude, the mic peaked so bad when I did that. Okay, I have to go. What am I doing? This is the longest fucking episode and nothing is happening now. So I should go. Let me just itch my beard audibly through the microphone. Okay. Get me the fuck out of here. What am I doing? Thanks, guys. Appreciate you listening. Thanks so much. And yeah, we'll see you next week. Okay, bye.